There's no perfect continent or country, but there are pros and cons that can be weighed to determine if you will stay long-term or short-term. I lived in Tanzania for 3 months and quickly realized it wasn't a good fit for me. In this video, I'll share 10 pros and cons of living in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Hey y'all, it's Sade Imore, your favorite expat with nomadic tendencies. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. And if you're an oldie but goodie, hey you, I see you. Thanks so much for stopping by. The first pro I want to share is the beauty of the country. It reminds me of Jamaica. It's plush and green. The water is beautiful and it's blue. The sky is clear. You can see the sun and the clouds in the daytime. You can see the stars and the moon at night. It doesn't smell. It's just all in all a beautiful country. And I really enjoyed being outside, being in the sun, and being at peace while I was there. A con to that would be the mosquitoes. Now, I'm from Montgomery, Alabama, the South. So I know a few things about getting bitten up. But these mosquitoes in Tanzania, they would tote your butt up out of there. They were disrespectful. And I mean so much so to where they had whelps and bumps all over my son because they were tearing him up. Shout out to one of my sisters for putting us on to the sandalwood incense, and my other sister for putting us on to this rosemary rub, because the insect repellent or mosquito medicine that I brought from the States, it didn't do a thing. The next pro is the cost of living. Inflation has hit globally, but at the time, Dar es Salaam was pretty affordable to me. That's why affordable and cheap is relative to the person, and you really have to make the determination as to what your budget would be. I was able to get a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, brand new apartment in a compound across the street from my landlord with the security guy for $250 a month in a rich neighborhood or city called Mbweni. I did have to purchase my refrigerator, my stove, 2 beds, 2 mattresses, a TV, a washing machine, and then I got a table and 4 chairs, the one that goes outside. I put that set in my living room, and I spent no more than $1,500 to $1,600, thanks to my dada and our negotiation skills, on my house appliances. And I also had 2 personal drivers. One wasn't as dependable as the other. And also because a lot of my rides would get canceled with Uber and Bolt because I kind of stay in a rural area, which was like 25 minutes away from Milamani City Mall. My budget for the month was about $400 to $450 a month. That's it. I don't believe in living above my means, even in the States. So if I can afford it, I kind of stay below that. And I've never lived in the projects or the hood or the ghetto. So for me, that's why I say Dar es Salaam was pretty affordable. If you speak to somebody else, they may tell you it's expensive. And I'm not saying Africa isn't expensive, because it is. I'm just saying for me, in my budget, in my house, it was affordable. The next con that I'm going to talk about is the electricity and the water. So you might as well say the utilities. Gas I didn't have a problem with because I had propane gas, but the electricity would go out all the time. You had to prepay. So it wasn't easy to work. However, I've heard that the electrical issue has been rectified. And then as far as the water, it was extremely harsh on the skin, harsh on my hair. It was dirty. Even though I think it went through a filtration system, it still wasn't good because I brought filters from the United States, and I remember pulling them off and it was full of dirt. So yeah, with my hair kind of coming out and just being extremely dry, even doing the same hair care routine that I was doing in the States, I knew I needed to do something different, and that it had something to do with the water. So this is the reason why I have locks as well. The next pro is the animals. I loved seeing the cows and the goats, and I heard stories about the monkeys. I just like seeing them in their natural habitat, where they weren't caged in, forced, to take all of these shots. And I just liked seeing them graze the land and mind their business. That was something different for me, because in the States, y'all know animals just can't be out there like that unless they're in a farm. And you do hear stories of people hitting them and getting paralyzed or dying like at night because they broke out, in the middle of the road. And there is a system, because you do see people just allowing them to graze and kind of push them, on to wherever they want them to go. But I just really liked them in their natural habitat, and I liked passing by them. So they were going in one direction, I was going in another direction, and I kind of wanted to like touch them, but I just watched them out the window like a little kid. The next con is not really having anything to do with the kids. Now, they did have a movie theater in Mililani City Mall that I know of. It was the only one I know of. They did have an area for, them to play basketball, but I won't necessarily say it was a park. And they had activities that you could do that, if you wanted to pay some coin for, where you could take like karate classes and stuff. But just in general, having something for the kids to do, like bowling or maybe skating, there wasn't really, anything to do with the kids. But we did enjoy being outside and taking long walks, because that's just what we do. We hiked and camped in the States, so that wasn't something that was hard for us to do. It was just we wanted other things to, help stimulate our minds, if we weren't reading, because we weren't watching much TV anyway. But that was definitely a con. The next pro is little to no haggling. If you saw somebody that you wanted to give money to, sometimes they would be like a little bit more reserved to take money from you. But I don't think I ever experienced a child or an adult coming to me and just, begging for money or chasing me down the street. I think I probably experienced somebody asking me for something once in Carriacou or Carriacou. Can't remember exactly how you pronounce it. But there was a lady that appeared to be Muslim, fully covered. The only thing you could see was her eyes. And she was asking me for money and kind of walking behind me and, trying to get my attention. But other than that, I really didn't experience anybody asking me or begging me for something to eat or money to have. Now, the next con is theft. And I mean, it was heavy, especially for electronics, specifically phones. So get you, ladies, get you a purse, a little small something that goes across the chest, and put your phone in there, keep your hand on it, or get you a fanny pack, twist that thing to the side a little bit, put your phone in there, because they were snatching phones as people were talking on them, snatching them at restaurants, yanking purses or snatching purses off people as they were walking. And so it was bad, breaking into the apartments and getting their laptops, and there was really no accountability, for people doing that. So just make sure y'all keep that in mind. Don't be out here flashing, out here wearing the fancy watches and the earrings and the necklaces. Kind of keep it, low, because theft is a big issue there. Despite what you may hear, it is. The last pro I have is beauty and self-care. let me tell ya, you won't miss it in the States because you'll be getting it in Dar es Salaam. When it comes to makeup and massages at the spa, manicures, pedicures, getting your hair braided, permed, all the things, you do not have to worry because you can get everything you need in that regard there. I love that. I went to a nail salon. I think it was called Nails by Cobb. I will put her information in the description box, and I think I'll let it come across the screen. But she was such a sweetheart, very, very professional. And so if you guys are ever in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, you need to check her out, okay? Because she was giving. But yeah, don't worry about, you know, self-care and beauty, because that's definitely something that you can get done in Dar. The last con that I want to share is customer service. Now, I know I just spoke positively about the young lady and her business, but I do want to be honest with you guys and tell you that customer service is awful. Okay, you may get somebody who, you know, is rolling their eyes, who literally act like they don't want to be there. You know, it could take a very long time for you to get your food, and don't let it be wrong or something wrong with it. It's going to take even longer for you to get what you want, or sometimes they may just be like, we don't have it, and still expect you to pay for it, even though they didn't listen properly, or, you know, or they gave you what they wanted you to have, or something was wrong with it. And so you're going to have to bring your patience. You know, just go ahead and throw the customer service out the window. Come with low expectations, and then that way, if they do anything above that, you know, exceed that expectation, then you can say job well done and tip and do whatever it is you feel like you need to do. And I tell you, once you get someone as lovely as the young lady that I was telling you about at Nails by Cobb, you will stick with them. You will stick with them because y'all know we creatures of habit. African Americans are creatures of habit. You find, you hear some good news about somebody, everybody going to that same person. You know, you hear about this restaurant, we're going to the same person because we're big on, you know, good quality customer service, and that's where we'll spend our money. But, you know, hopefully over time, things will get better. Well, that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up. Join the tribe by subscribing and hit that notification bell so you don't miss when I post a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.